Okay, now let's take a look at printing to PDF and actually getting some of this information out of Revit into a PDF format. So we're going to print to PDF. So as mentioned in Module 1, you do need to make sure that you have a PDF print driver. There are multiple options that are free. There are some listed out in Module 1, and you might already have one on your computer. But I'm going to go ahead and let's take a look. I guess this is named wrong now. Let's put this to interior elevations and 3D view. Okay, and then we're going to take a look at printing these to PDF. All right, so to do that, I'm going to go up to my file and go to print. Also to print, you can also do Control P. So we're going to go to print. All right, and then we're going to select your PDF print driver. All right, I have Bluebeam on mine. This might be Adobe, or it might be one of the other ones that are mentioned. So you just need a PDF print driver. I'm then going to go into down here to file. All right, so we have the option to combine multiple selected views into a single file or create separate files. Right now, this is grayed out because of the print range. And right now, the print range is set to just the current window. But instead of having to print multiple sheets and printing each sheet as a single PDF, I want to do a combined PDF so that I print multiple sheets into one PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and say selected views and sheets. You'll notice that right away, this jumps to create separate files. And I don't want individual files, so I'm going to put it back to combine multiple selected view sheets into a single file. So it's just going to give me one PDF with multiple sheets in it. I also recommend that you bookmark this video to come back to until you get the hang of it. We will be printing a PDF for every assignment. So until it becomes habit, you might want to come back to reference this, especially for these settings here. So here in the print range, I'm going to go into select. And here I'm going to select all of the sheets that I want to print. So we only did some work here on the architectural floor plans, and then we created that interior sheet as well. Just trying to see what they did in the template here so that, there we go. Make sure to hide unchecked view sheets because they have it set up to just print those sheets that they did, which is nice. But we want to make sure to get this our new sheet that we created down here. So hit hide unchecked view sheets. All right. And then I'm just going to print A101 because that's the floor plan that we did. And then the I sheet that we created. So I'm just going to print those two. Scroll down and click that. All right, so I just have those. So every time you're just going to want to come in, and you can turn this off too. Right now it's showing all of the sheets and all the views. We're never going to print views from this. So you could uncheck those so that it's just the sheets. That'll be easier to see everything. All right, so I'm just going to check those two. That's all I want to print. I'm going to say select, and this is the print order. If you have something like a title sheet, which you might have for especially like the midterm or the final, you can change your edit order and move that T sheet up to the front. But for now, this order is just fine. I'm going to say select, and it's going to ask me if I want to save it for a future Revit session. You can save it, and then every time that you print this from this project, those will be your default. So you can go ahead and say yes. Now I need to go into the settings. All right, so this is very important. This is going to be the paper size in the setup. So I'm going to go into my settings, and I want to make sure that I change my paper size. Right now it's set to a letter, which is going to be an 8.5 by 11 size. But if you'll remember, our title blocks are the D, which is a 22 by 34. All right, and that's in inches. So right now, if I were to print this D size to a letter, it's not going to print everything, and it's going to be all out of scale and all out of whack. So I want to make sure right away that I come in here and I change that. I'm going to change it to ANSI D. All right, that's one of the reasons that the title block has the D in the name, because it's giving you a hint about the paper size. All right, so ANSI D, and you're going to have to do this for every project, every assignment, to come in here and change these print settings. All right, so I'm going to come in ANSI D. I'm going to leave the paper placement at center, and then on the zoom, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to click it back now since it just moved. But zoom, I'm going to say zoom 100%. That means it's going to be true to scale and true to size. I'm going to leave these settings alone down here, hide reference and work planes. Those are just working things. I'm going to hide the crop boundaries. The crop boundaries are those crop views that we see for the crop regions on the plan. So in case you left one on, it would hide it and not print it. And same thing for the scope boxes. We hid ours, but if if it's still on in a view, you hide it so it won't print. Everything else here looks good. I want it to be landscape orientation, and I want it to be the vector processing. It might have to switch the roster sometimes when you print 3D views with color, but that's no problem, and Revit will normally prompt that anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK here. And then those were my settings. I'm gonna hit OK again. And it's going to take a second, and then it should prompt me to save it. So again, just make sure you're saving it in a location that you know where to find it. I'm just going to throw mine on my desktop, and then but just make sure. I would recommend starting a folder for this class, and saving all of your Revit files and all of your PDFs to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. There is a naming convention that is listed out for each homework assignment. You'll see that in Canvas. I'll go ahead and save. I mine is loading up Bluebeam because that is my PDF print viewer. But if you have Adobe, do the same thing here. So it's going to load it up, and so there is my PDF. All right, so now I have sheets that I've generated, and I've gotten them out of Revit and printed them to a PDF. And then this PDF is very easy to share and to upload the Canvas for the assignments, but also to email or to share as needed as construction, down the line construction documents.